This right here, my friend, is the perfect example of throwing my life away. And may I remind you that one of the women who we're about to speak about, her brother is Kawhi Leonard, the NBA player, Kawhi Leonard, championship star player, who is estimated to be worth about $80 million today. And yet, his sister just received a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole, which means she will die in prison according to her sentence for what she did and for what minuscule amount of money she did it for. You can't make this up. So let's get right into the story. Just remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV, or every time we give an update to a story that we have covered on the channel. Kawhi Leonard's sister, Kamisha Williams, she was just sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for killing an elderly woman in a casino back in 2019. Well, you know how the court system goes, so it's not the same day you're arrested for a crime that you go to trial. It takes time for your number to be called per se. In the meantime, defense team goes to work trying to get their client off, or trying to get their client as little time as possible behind bars, while prosecution goes to work for the opposite, trying to get the victim's family some kind of justice and trying to get the most time possible behind bars for the wrong that was done. Now, according to reports, Kawhi Leonard's sister and her friend, Candace Townsell, they were at a casino, a resort casino, when this 84-year-old woman by the name of Afaf Assad had arrived at the casino with her husband. Now, it was reported that Afaf Assad, she had a purse in it, and the purse had $1,000 in it. I don't know how they know that she had a purse in it, meaning the women who are said to have robbed her. I don't know how they know or might have known that she had $1,000 in her purse. Maybe she stopped at one of the gambling tables or whatever the case may be. However, she had $1,000 in it. She had just arrived at the casino with her husband. Her husband sat somewhere else. You know how it goes. Wifey says, "I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick, the ladies' room. I'll be right back." She carried that purse with her into the bathroom, according to the reports. Now, while Townsell waited outside, Leonard's sister, Kawhi Leonard's sister, she followed Assad into the bathroom, according to surveillance footage and according to witnesses. She followed the lady into the bathroom. One woman who was in another stall testified that she heard a thud, boom, before Williams and Townsell fled the scene. They left the casino. They took the money, the $1,000, and they left. The witness and a bathroom custodian later found the 84-year-old woman unconscious, and she was bleeding from the head because she had suffered a cracked skull. She had gone unconscious also. It is said that they punched or pushed her hard enough for her to fall down, hit her head, and crack her skull open, and she went unconscious, and they left her there as they tried to get away from the crime scene. 4 days later, the 84-year-old Assad passed away in the hospital after suffering the skull fracture during the robbery. Kawhi Leonard's sister, Kamisha Williams, she was actually banned from that same casino 4 years ago. 4 years prior, from 2019. So she would have been banned from the casino 18, 17, 16, 2015. She picked up a ban from that casino. They told her, get the hell out and don't come back until after 4 years. So, well, yeah, she was banned 4 years prior. She was banned They told her never to come back. But she came back 4 years later, did a robbery there, and someone died in the process of that robbery going down. What did they ban her for 4 years prior? They banned her for stealing an attendee's wallet. Of course, she denied those allegations as well, just as much as she has denied this allegation. However, this allegation got her life in prison without the possibility of parole. I'm thinking a lot of things. I'm thinking, damn, if my brother is successful in the NBA, and it's not like he just got to the NBA, he is a seasoned veteran in the NBA. His net worth is high. He is pushing up towards $100 million in net worth. You telling me that you could not put a business plan together and pitch that to your brother and say, bro, even if you don't give me the money, lend me the money to start up. I'll make my business work and I'll pay you back something. Or maybe they weren't even on good terms, or as close as the media might want us to think. Because, her brother playing in the NBA, he is like one of the quietest guys in the NBA for all the years he has been in the NBA. He's fire on the court, but he lets his game speak for him. And everybody knows Kawhi does not say much, right? So we don't know. We don't know if they actually had a relationship or they probably never spoke to each other. But the way how the media is bringing it across, it's not two women that committed murder in 2019 are now sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Every news entity says Kawhi Leonard's sister. Not two women, not Williams, not her first and last name, but Kawhi Leonard's sister. So, of course, a lot of people are in his face right now trying to find out a lot of things. Hey, Kawhi, what happened to your sister? Can you tell us anything? Were you guys close? Was she on drugs? What did she commit the murder for? Was it because she was trying to get money for drugs? What was it like growing up with her, etc., etc.? And he's not really answering any questions right now, right? Kawhi's sister wrote a letter, and the letter went like this. It says, I am so sorry for your loss. I have been praying for you and your family every day. I am not responsible for the death of Mistress Assad, although the courts have found me guilty of the charges. We all know the truth, and that there is one judge, and that is God, and he knows the truth. Man, listen, anytime I see people that say stuff like only God can judge me, and that, we all know the truth. No, we don't all know the truth. We know what surveillance footage tells us. We know what witnesses tell us. We know what said in the courtroom. We know what you testified versus what forensics proved. That's all we know. We don't know the truth as you say, and your truth is that you didn't do it. Anyways, she got that life sentence. Now, the news surfaced on Friday morning prior to the LA Clippers game number 4 showdown with the Phoenix Suns. You gotta imagine her brother. Now, his sister just got a life sentence, life without the possibility of parole, and he's off to a professional game, and he's got to keep his head in the game, right? You can't think about, oh, my sister just got, so I'm gonna have a bad day today. They pay you millions to play ball at a top level. So he doesn't even have time to be grieving his sister and what she's going through, regardless of if they were close or not. Most family members might say, my brother is doing bad. I knew he was going to get some time in prison, or my sister, but I hope, even if it's 20, 30 years, I hope 30 years from now when they get out, they've learned their lesson. But to hear life without the possibility of parole, man, no matter how far apart you are, that kind of stings a little. I'm not saying she does not deserve it, because nothing is going to bring Mrs. Assad back. And Mrs. Assad was 84 years old, and no 84-year-old deserves to have lived that long on earth only to die in such horrendous manner over some foolishness. So, her daughter, Mrs. Assad's daughter, the victim's daughter, she wrote a letter in a victim impact statement which she read in a court, speaking directly about the pain that Williams and Townsell caused her family. She said, "This has been a long and painful journey through the criminal court justice system, and I still can't believe that my mother was the victim of a violent crime. A part of me died in a hospital room with her. My father is without his wife and partner, and he is now isolated and alone in a way that we cannot even begin to understand. We seek not vengeance, but there needs to be a reckoning for this heinous act." Well, as it turns out, Kawhi Leonard's sister, she wasn't the only one that received a life sentence in prison for the murder. Her accomplice, whose name is Candace Townsell, she also was given a life sentence in prison for her role in it as well. Both women have no chance of parole after their sentencing. So this is it for them. They will do the rest of their life in prison. And by the time Kawhi Leonard's NBA career is over, I'm willing to bet that he will be worth well over $100 million. It's funny how life turns out, right? It's funny how life turns out. Your sibling goes all the way professional, all the way away from poverty to becoming a multi-millionaire. And you go the complete opposite way. You go all the way to prison for life in prison without the possibility of parole. Two completely opposite lives on two completely far different ends of the spectrum. This is wild. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. And I'll catch you on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.